Hey, I saw a question on a thread online about how to transcribe songs by ear, or it's how to figure out songs by ear. I thought I'd talk about. First thing I do is I try to determine the main note or key or root of the song, which on guitar, here's a hint. Often, believe it or not, it's an E. If it's not E, try an A. That's just the overall tonality. And it does kind of hum. Just you got to kind of feel the vibration of that root note. Sounds kind of weird, but that's kind of how I do it. The fourth, or if it's not E or A, try a D string. D. It just has a resonance. D, E. Most guitar songs are in the key of E, A, or D. If it's not that, it's probably G. G. And then take that down into the root, the low G. So I'm going to say it again. Most guitar songs are in the key of E, A, D, or G. So look for those first, E, A, D, or G. If it's not that, try a C. You could try a C chord. Or we could do a chord on all of those, of course, an E, A, D, G, or a C. If it's not that, try an F. And from there, we're going to have sharps and flats, except for a B, which you can do like that. So you find that root, of the first chord in the song. Let's say it's kind of like. Then where does it go? It could go anywhere, really, but most likely it's going to be in a scale. So it might be part of an A major scale. It would be one of the next note's probably going to be one of those. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. But if that sounds completely wrong, try minor, which would sound like this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So it might go like A, G, A. If you hear that in the bass, and try to identify that pattern. Usually it's going to repeat. So it could be A, C, A, G, A, repeat. Something like that. Or it could go A to D. A, D, A. And then we would project those into chords, say like A minor to D major, or A minor, or back. Or if it's all major, from, or it could go from A, D, E. Usually it's something simple, and a large majority of songs is just a pattern. Then you turn into maybe power chords, major chords. But what if it's minor? So you kind of have to determine the quality. So we're chasing a lot of things. Number one, get the root pattern down, or you can think of it as a bass part. Listen to the bass guitar or the lowest note. Okay, let's do another pattern. How about A, F sharp, D, E? That'd be like every breath you take, every vow you break, every dare, 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 whatever. A lot of songs follow a pattern like that. Then you turn them into chords. Okay, A, F sharp, D, E. But that F sharp sounded weird, didn't it? That's because it should be minor. But there's more details. Are we just strumming or picking? Okay, let's say that song we're going to pick it. possibility, but we're missing something, aren't we? Yeah, that song has got add 9 chords. So you have to kind of know the sound of different flavors of chords. You know, is it, like I was saying, major or minor? Is it a dominant 7th? Is it a major 7th, minor 7th? Is it a 6th? Is there a suspended 4? Is there a add 9? Or is it just power chord? Or is it just a root and a third? A root and a major third. The F sharp would have a minor third. The D major and the E major, F sharp minor. So you kind of got to know your chords in different shapes or different ways to make an A major. You have to determine, does this sound better down here? Or up here? Or is it up here? Like, okay, let's do something with this. I remember when MTV was a new thing and I used to watch it a lot, and there was a song that went. That's pretty hard. But those chords up there were like, wow. Oops. You know, that's the same thing. Only. So you've got to know those different inversions and positions of every key. And usually it just traces back to a few simple shapes. You know, all I'm doing is a D shape. D, E, F, G, A. And F sharp minor. Here's like B minor, C minor, D minor, E minor, F minor, F sharp minor, then a D, E. I'm just using like an F shape. Then there's details, there's little things moving on top. It's not just, it's so those are just some ideas, you know, for transcribing a bit of a song. It might be, you know, once you get the bass, you remember it's going to repeat, but once you get the basic idea, let's say you're playing with 2 guitars, one person's going, lead guitar man, you might do an octave up, or maybe a third interval, a harmony. So you have to, you know, study your harmony a little bit. That was a third, or you could be doing fifths. So you got to know your root, third, fifth of every chord, and then you're going to add, you know, 7s, flatted 7s, major third, minor third, 6th, seconds, suspended 4ths, and you can sharpen flat most of those things too, mostly, most of them. And there's going to be, occasionally there'll be a diminished chord or an augmented chord. Your basic chord families are major, minor, diminished. Everything's going to break down to those 3 big categories. And, you know, but, you know, a 6th is a major chord, and a minor 7th is a minor. A 7th chord is still major. But diminished chords will sneak in. Usually you can cover all diminished chords right here. That's going to cover all 12 keys. That'd be like 4 keys in one here. D sharp, A, C, and F sharp. Here's E, A sharp, C sharp, G. Here's F, B, D, and G sharp, and here's, I think we're starting over. Yeah, F sharp, C. Okay, so it's really just, they'll give you all 12 keys right there. 4, 4, 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Each note of that is a root of the diminished chord. That's weird, isn't it? Then you got your augmenteds where you go like, which is usually leading somewhere. Let me just grab a book for a second. If you are wanting to understand how songs work, the flow of songs, the patterns, this is probably one of the best books for understanding how popular music works. The Beatles' Complete Chord Songbook. Those guys thought of many, many combinations of chords that are, probably they borrowed from other people, and certainly everybody has borrowed from them. And that would be, if you can get through this book, you're going to kind of have an idea how songs work. But you really have to train your ear to hear the key and the root. So let's just look at a tuner for a second. Like, what do we got? I'm trying to sing C, but I'm hitting a B. B. You just have to hear pitch, like this tuner hears pitch. Maybe practice with a tuner a little bit to help you find some pitches if that's something that doesn't come natural to you. Spend a little time looking at your tuner, and eventually your ears will take over, theoretically. I mean, I just grew up learning by ear, so I don't really know any other way. I mean, I can read music and chord charts and tablature, but initially I could hear it first, so I just kind of sat around listening to records like this one. The first note I heard was, is it that? No. Yes. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. Whoa. You might stumble. Eventually you'll stumble across. Remember, there's only 12 notes in our system. So you got a 1 out of 12 chance of finding them. So let's say you're hearing a song, you're like, I don't know what key it is. Well, just start going, oh, too high, too high, getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. There it is. Or it could be, gotta go higher. No. Until you find that root. Just slide up and down the fat string until you find that key. Alright, just a few thoughts about picking out songs by ear. Then, you might need to get your pencil out and start writing some tablature or chord charts. Or draw some chords out. I use Guitar Pro 7 software quite a bit for writing out scales and arpeggios and exercises and some songs. So use any tool you can get and just work on it. And, not everybody can do it, but I think everybody can do a little bit.